Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to try and recreate Lana Del Rey's makeup from Coachella. I first saw this makeup on TikTok when I saw the duet with her and Billy doing video games, which was so beautiful. The song was beautiful, but also the makeup was beautiful. And I saw some more clips, saw it a little bit closer up. Haven't found any high definition, really close up photos of it, but enough that I think I can try and recreate it. It's really interesting in that it's a warm tone eye, but a cool tone lip. So it's a pretty striking combo. And it has some very classic Lana elements in it, in that you get that sort of heavier liner towards the center of the eye. And she's been really rocking like a pretty obvious lip line in general, but some of the colors are a little different. So I want to try and recreate it. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get into it. I am seeing a lot of glow yet matteness in this whole look. She must probably be wearing a full coverage foundation just based on performing, sweating, all that. So it's a kind of sometimes a hard combo to get that glow and the full coverage, but I'm going to try my best. I just picked up at the Sephora sale the Yummy Skin Glow Serum from Decay. I haven't used this yet, so here's hoping it goes well. But I just want to get that hydrated base going. I don't know how glowy or anything this will be. I kind of took a break from glowy base products for a while because I found it was making my foundation wear down quickly. But I kind of want to get back into it, especially things that have a lighter feeling on the skin. I think I can go in with a little bit more. It feels really light, especially in this area. She's got a wet looking glow, just all around here. But then the center of her face looks very matte. Going in next with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have it in the shade Ivory Nude. And yeah, I'm just going straight in for the full coverage. For my skin type, I like a lot of coverage. I'd say it just depends on your skin issues, but we are going for very evened out. So whatever you need for that, whether it's full coverage, light coverage, medium coverage. This is the type of foundation though that if you have dry skin, which I do, you just want to make sure that you're hydrated, prepped, primed, because it is a matte full coverage, so it will cling. Very covered throughout the day. The glow will sort of start to peek through a little bit, which is a really nice way for matte foundations to wear. That's why I like them a lot. Now I'm going to hold off on concealer until after the eye look and after blush bronzer, because I'm seeing a lot of highlighting happening here, and also some crisping detail to shape out her cheekbone with concealer. So I'm just going to leave that to the end and go in with bronzer contour step. She definitely has a lot of bronzer happening. So much that it's very for the stage, so you can really see it. So I'm going to do a version of it, but not quite as heavy. I'm going to try out something, again, I picked up at Sephora sale when the makeup gremlin took over and decided to spend a bunch of money that I shouldn't. So I picked up the Decay Balm Contour in Fair. I tried it once. It was so pigmented, so I'm going to go in lightly-ish. Start quite a bit higher. I noticed you can sort of see this line happening, but a lot of the bronzer's focused up in this direction. It's not like a beachy look, all over the skin. It's very sculpting here, up in the temple. See, this shade is just a bit too warm, I think, to do under the jawline for me. I thought it was going to be a bit cooler. Oh well. It's like you're stamping it a bit higher than you might naturally kind of think. This is definitely like a heavier bronzer moment than I might normally do, but I'm going to leave it more intense for now because I'm going to blend everything with time. I'm going to pop a bit of like an actual contour shade for me under the jawline. This is much cooler. I like to focus a little bit more of the contour, like kind of right here, going up. Because that's where I'm starting to see, or well, I've always seen like a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a jowl, but an indenty thing. For blush, in a couple shots it looks pretty blushy, but most of them not so much. It feels more like it's the bronzer doing most of the work. So I'm just going to go in with a classic pink. This is Patrick Ta, She's That Girl. Because I don't see anything too corally or berry toned. It just looks very pink. Sticking with all cream products for now. I'd say she is keeping it in this area, which is a bit different blush placement for me, but let's try it out. It's always fun to shake it up. It does feel like the blush and bronzer are really kind of melding into each other. Oh yeah, I'm feeling this. This is some different placement for me and different intensities. So I'm going to pop off camera to do my brows. Then we're going to get into the eye before the concealer and highlighter. So you're going to want to look for like medium toned, medium light-ish, warm browns. I'm using the Kathleen Lights Il Makiage collab. Fortunately, this is limited edition. It's actually one of my favorite palettes. But some of the tones I'm kind of looking at are these ones. They look neutral, quite neutral in the pan. So first shade I'm going in with is this one. And when I'm looking at Lana's look, I'm just really noticing how this area is quite bright. And I almost think there was a bit of a half cut crease action going on, which I'm going to try. Nothing too much, nothing 2016 makeup, but this kind of crisping of a line happening. So first I'm going to blend, then I'm going to do that. A fluffy brush. Just start to bring some depth and warmth into the crease. It seems like it's actually blended quite far up too. So just anything that's left on your brush, start to bring it closer to the brow bone. Then I want to darken the outer V a little bit with a smaller brush. Kind of going back and forth between these two. This is just feeling like a touch too dark and saturated, but this is like too light and cool tone. So I'm going to combine them and start to get some shading. Start bringing it in. What's left on the brush, heading towards the inner corner. All right, this is when I'm going to get into my soft mini cut crease action. So take any concealer that's a brightening concealer for you. If it's more on the matte side, that's going to have better staying power. This is what's left of the Stay Naked concealer from Urban Decay, which they've discontinued. And I'm sad because this was my favorite brightening concealer. So I put it on the back of my hand, just a little bit. Go in with a brush that's dense and domed and adding some brightness and a bit of a line starting here and going about halfway. I just want to soften this a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this shade here. It's like a lighter version of the first one. So just kind of using that to create a bit more of a gradient. And even like what's left on the brush after you do that, just kind of patting it to set this. Because it doesn't look like a stark white, you know, it looks kind of warm. In terms of shimmer, it doesn't necessarily look like she has a ton of glitzy shimmer happening, but she definitely has something that's bringing like brightness into this area and a bit of color. So I'm going to use a highlighter first, a gold one. This is from Rare Beauty. It's the shade Exhilarate. It is broken. Ignore that. Just using a fluffier brush to bring that in all the areas I put the mini cut crease. This highlighter, if you don't know, is like so intense. So it is a great eyeshadow as well. I'm going to go in with a copper eyeshadow now. This one here. Very lightly, because like I find coppers can, at least on my complexion, like build up pretty quickly and look dark. So I'm just going to pat a little bit of it in the center and move towards the inner corner. Just to add that touch more warmth. Now for a bit of wing action. Not a big wing person. It's hard to tell if she has like a brown or black wing. It doesn't look as intense as some of Lana's wings look sometimes. Sometimes she does these really intense kind of woo ones. I'm not seeing a ton of that, and it looks in some angles like very blended and more like there was just like lifting action with the concealer. So I'm going to use a little bit of black to start to lay it down, but then soften it with the dark brown eyeshadow. I'm going to use from Rituel de Fille. If you don't know this product, it's really interesting. It's a kohl liner. It's very creamy. This is my go-to thing if I want to do a wing liner because you can correct it so easily and it's creamy. It's never ending. I'm going to have this forever. I've had this for years. It's still like full. It doesn't fully set like a liquid liner, so know that. But I'm going to start here and just get, oop, I blinked, get some darkening action. Lana almost always has very heavy lining happening here. For me, I don't always like how that looks, so I'm going to find a bit of a middle ground. It looks very sultry, kind of 1960s. With the same brush, even with some of this product on it, I'm going to toggle between these two dark browns here. This is cool tone, this is warm. The cool tone has a bit more depth to it. So mostly using that one. And start layering on top of this. This is when I'm going to start going closer in. Lana 100% brings her liner all the way to the inner corner. Not quite a cat eye, but she brings it close in. When I do this, I don't like how it looks. So I'm just going to sort of fade it into that rather than doing a full-on line there. I just find it does not suit my eye shape. Still using the shadow, I'm going to start to wing this out a little bit. And it is very hard to tell in these photos, but I know in general Lana goes for that really upward wing. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side off camera, just so I can concentrate better, and then show you the next steps. I am going to use that same brightening concealer and put it dot there, a dot there. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit because it's just like feels like this whole part of her face has this brightening, but this is also what I'm gonna use to crisp up this line. A little subtle, but it is there. Just take a bigger brush to bring this out to the temple. Like this is creating a nice lift. Hope you can see the difference that made. Until you have mascara and everything on it, it looks slightly intense, so don't worry about it. But while I'm here, this is where I'm also going to use the concealer to really define that cheekbone thing happening here. So I'm going to bring some of that brightening here. And while I'm at it, just the center of the face in general. I am so sad that this is done. I'm so sad. A little bit like in the zone. Not on the eyeshadow, but like brightening, brightening, brightening. A white liner in the waterline to brighten. This is my Annabelle kohl liner that I've had since grade 7. For the lower lash line, it looks like she has a crisper line, really defining her lash line. Very sort of nod to 1960s, which her liner often does. I'm going to use combination between these two browns. Just right below the lashes. Doesn't look particularly smoky. Doesn't look super thin either. It's just like a touch of that definition. Before I go in with mascara and lashes, I'm going to set the face with powder. The One Size translucent setting powder. Using this as a tool to once again bring that sculpting to the face. Got it like in my ear. Okay. And then very softly set the balms of the blush and bronzer. This is the Patrick Ta. She's statuesque. This is not really about adding pigment. It's just about making sure that nothing's staying too dewy. I want longevity. I'm about to perform on stage. You know? Then from the powder side. And highlighter on the actual cheekbone. She's got a lot. She has a lot. So much, I think, that I don't really want to use as much because I'm going to be going out in public today. But if it was nighttime, I would go so ham. I'm using that Rare Beauty again. Using the back of my hand to diffuse it and just really bring that cheekbone. Oh yeah. Actually, f it. Who cares if I'm going out? I'm going to my pole class. It's all about glam, and I'm going to put it on the temple a little bit. On the nose. Definitely keeping this a little soft though. Oh, this is a lot actually. That's okay. Before I do the mascara, I'm going to set, because I feel like I've used a lot of layers today. This is the e.l.f. matte spray. I really like it. I've never seen anybody use it, but I took a chance on it and I like it. I'm gonna let that dry and I'm gonna come back with mascara on and we're gonna talk lashes. She is 100% wearing lashes. She always does. And I'm pretty sure they're quite dramatic actually, like something like these. They're not from MAC. These are actually the half lashes from Vive. I used to wear lashes like this a lot at the beginning of my makeup journey. I just loved the drama. However, what I don't love about lashes like these is like the very dense like band rather than a clear band. But I'm just gonna like pop it on the edge just to take a little look. Like that looks a lot. But she's on stage. She's definitely got something, maybe not quite this level, but very close. And they look like half lashes to me. So I'm gonna do something a little bit more subtle just because I don't love this feeling of caterpillars on my eyes, though I do love a falsie. So I'm thinking either these MAC Free Spirit lashes. These are some fresh ones I just trimmed in half. These would be a bit of the nod to the 1960s because they have some like PC separation to them. Also have these little half C's from Kiss. Those ones are a bit more dense versus PC, if you could see what I mean. These are from Kiss, these are from MAC. Okay, I think that these ones from Kiss have a bit more of that denseness to them, so I think they're gonna be a good compromise. They have some glam to them, but they are a clear band, they're much lighter, so I'm gonna pop these on. My favorite lash glue has always been the Duo Glue, the green one, because it has the little paintbrush. Also, when the lash is so light, you don't really need to wait very long for it to dry because it's so light it just sits on the lash line without even needing to stick. You know? Which gives you some playtime, some wiggle room, which is really nice. Yeah, there's my compromise. We got the glam, but this I can tolerate wearing all day. Can we talk about her dress though? It is so pretty and it reminds me so much of a dress I actually used to have when I was in my early 20s. It was pretty sure from Urban Outfitters. I'll pop a picture up that doesn't do it justice, but it was the same shade. It was the same shimmery iridescence. It had that same length, had long sleeves. It just didn't have like the cutout and slightly different shaping, but it was actually so similar. And I think about that dress a lot because it really felt like a Cinderella style dress. And it's actually hard to find dresses with that like texture, shimmer, and shade. It's like you could do a makeup look just inspired by that dress. So pretty. I couldn't fit into the other one anymore, mine. And also it had some weird aging stains. Otherwise I would have kept it for pure beauty. But it got weird stains in the closet. I sad. Okay, lips. This is definitely a lip combo I do a lot, just slightly different. Y'all know I love a lip stain and a darker lip liner and a gloss on top with different variations of liners. But what's interesting about hers that's a bit different than how I do it is that the pink in the middle is quite focused right in the center here, like, you know, if you've been sucking on a popsicle kind of vibe. And the liner is not really blurred in too much with it. The liner really is a statement. So yes, that's what we're gonna do today. In some pictures, it looks more vibrant than in others. So I'm gonna try and keep this light. Actually, which color I'm gonna use? I'm torn between a couple shades. This is quite a cool toned berry. This I just got, this for sale. It's like a red. And then there's my classic Benetton. And I kind of wanted to switch it up for you guys just because I've used the Benetton a few times, but it really looks like the Benetton. So I'm just going to go with that, okay? Starting with it just really in the center, especially here. You can use my finger to start to bring it towards the edges. Leaving it there for now. And of course, Makeup Forever Endless Cacao. It looks like she's wearing that. That or MAC Stone. Super cool toned. I'm going to really define the line, the lip line. She has lip filler. It's really giving that pouty Lana sad girl vibe. So I'm definitely gonna overline a little bit here. I normally totally skip this, but I'm gonna do a very soft nod to the Cupid's bow because it seems she has. There's the line for sure. And then she has some gradation, a bit of a gradient going to the center here. Sort of like 90s lip meets modern eye shadow meets 60s liner. That's what I'm calling this look. So definitely do a bit of blending. Definitely gloss. It looks like she could be wearing a clear gloss or potentially a slightly tinted one, which I'm going to use the Tower 28 in pistachio. They have like different formulas of this that some are like milky, and this is one of the milky ones. And I think it kind of adds the touch of mutedness that her look has, especially in some pictures of it. And that gloss is going all the way up to the lip line. Okay, here we are. I'm obsessed. I love it. What I'm loving is just this real intense highlight. And like, if I was on stage, I know it would be beaming. This is what we want for this. I think that's my Rare Beauty arriving. My Rare Beauty blush. Then I can put it on. Is it the Rare Beauty? Toasty, is it the Rare Beauty? It was not the Rare Beauty. Anyway, it's okay. We've got the glow. We have the glow. I don't need any more. I definitely don't. Yeah, I really like this look. It took me out of some techniques I've been falling into just out of both habit and like personal taste. If you know me, you know I love blush going all here, but it was fun to play with something different today. It's always fun to just like experiment with different things. And I'm really liking the side part. I decided to side part today because that's what she had going on. And the Gen Z's had me on the middle part for a bit, but I might be rocking this again for a while. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much if you've made it this far and watched the end. It really means a lot. It really helps support the channel. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, that also means a lot. I love hearing your thoughts. And until next time, may you find a little bit of makeup magic yourselves, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye, witches.